Welcome to PaleriderTV, back with another video. This is a crazy video coming out of my hometown here in Jacksonville, Florida. A off-duty sheriff's lieutenant fires 4 rounds into a big truck. That's I got the story right here from the News Sport Jacks. It's 3 different stories, so we're going to cover all these clips. First one is a press conference from the chief of the sheriff's office. So let's go. Crazy story.
p.m. We had he's a 70-year-old truck driver. He left Charlotte this morning at approximately
70-year-old
9 a.m.,
trucker.
headed toward Cape Coral, Florida. He was driving southbound on 95 and came into the heavy traffic here at Emerson right there at rush hour. One of our off-duty
It's a
lieutenants
mess.
was traveling down southbound 95 as well in an unmarked vehicle, plain clothes. He was on his way home from work. And at some point, those two vehicles came into contact with each other. We don't know the context of that at this point. It appears they may have contacted each other more than once.
Oh,
During that incident, the lieutenant did exit his vehicle, and sometime during that
the
incident,
volume is
he,
kind of low on
he
this
engaged
video, right?
the
This clip
semi
right
truck.
here.
He fired 4 rounds into the truck. The driver was not hurt, wasn't injured or anything. The rounds went into the kind of the front side where the engine is, the engine bay of the vehicle, and one skipped up. Again, he was not injured. So at that point, basically the incident was over. They got him into custody without further incident. He is cooperative with us at this
Who in the
time.
custody?
Multiple 911 calls came in. We're still
Truck
trying to
driver, I
contact all
assume.
those people
I
and
don't
find out
know.
what they may or may not have seen. This lieutenant, he's a lieutenant, so they don't wear body cameras, so we don't have any footage or anything. We haven't been able to speak to him because he went
That's
to the
convenient.
hospital with an injured shoulder, so we haven't spoken to him either. The other driver is being cooperative. He's helping us out. He's actually got a camera in the truck that he's trying to help
Dash
us. I mean, he
cam.
gave us consent to get into it. Problem is he doesn't know how to download it, so we're working on that, trying to get and see whatever video footage is in there. Again, he is being cooperative. So at this point, we would like to ask if there's any public, any citizens that were driving by and may have seen anything or heard anything. You never know what's going to help us. Please call it in and let us know at 630-0500. The team's going to continue working it through the night to try to, like I said, contact the people that have already called in. So any additional information we can get would help out. I'll give you the officer's information at this time. It is Lieutenant Mark Crawford. His ID number is 19207. He's been with us for 21 years. This is his 4th officer-involved shooting, and this is the 2nd officer-involved shooting for JSO this year so far. And with that, I can take any questions with what you guys have.
Hey, Mr. Regitter, right? Who shot first? The wind blew. I couldn't hear that. Who
Right.
shot first?
At this point, it appears the only person that shot was the officer, Lieutenant. That's all.
Wow.
And do we know why?
That's part of the investigation.
Road rage,
That's what we're trying
maybe?
to figure out. That's why anybody has any information, we would please have you guys call in. We haven't gotten a statement from him yet. He's at the hospital, and the other guy is being cooperative, but he kind of doesn't remember a lot of what happened, is what he's telling us.
And so, go ahead.
Is this guy, the truck driver, is he the one that's in custody, or you guys are in questioning?
He's just detained. He's not in custody for anything. We don't have any charges on him or anything. This thing because we don't know what happened. So he's being very cooperative at this point.
And also, you said the officer had a injury in his shoulder.
His right shoulder, I believe. So he's at the hospital now, getting treated, evaluated. So we haven't gotten a statement from him.
And where that injury came from?
That's part of the investigation. We don't know.
And
We don't
you
know.
said the other man in the truck said he was in his 70s.
He's approximately 70 years old. Yes.
And I know when you say that they came in contact with each other, is this their cars, I guess, or something? Did they exchange any words, or?
That's all part of the investigation. We do know the cars contacted each other. We don't know exactly how that happened. It does appear it might have been more than once. That's all part of the investigation that we're looking into. That's why anybody that saw anything would be really helpful if they call. And if that video works out, that'll help us out too. So,
Thank you, Chief.
yep, thank you.
Wow. So a off-duty Jacksonville Sheriff's Office lieutenant fired 4 rounds. Well, got out of his vehicle, fired 4 rounds into the engine compartment of the truck, the big truck, in rush hour traffic in the middle of the afternoon. All those people were around, and for what? What reason? It's not clear. Did the trucker cut him off? Did the trucker bump into him? Did he bump into the truck? Was he mad because the truck was in his way? I don't know. She's not saying anything up on that first clip. So we got another clip, a little bit of I wouldn't call it an update. I would just say an extension of the story a little bit, maybe a little bit of update. So let's see what's going on this one.
Office said one of its lieutenants shot at a semi-truck. You're looking at video of the scene yesterday after that incident during rush hour on I-95 South near Atlantic Boulevard.
News for Jack's anchor reporter Janice Harris spoke with our crime and safety analyst about what happened and what could happen next.
We're driving on I-95 where that shooting happened Monday afternoon, but many questions remain as to what led up to the shooting. And some of those questions may never have an answer. It's a typical afternoon of drivers coming and going on I-95 near Atlantic Boulevard until around 4 p.m. A 70-year-old truck driver and an off-duty JSO lieutenant driving in an unmarked vehicle came in contact with one another on I-95, and then shots were fired. Traffic was backed up for hours.
They may have contacted each other more than once.
JSO explains what happened.
The lieutenant did exit his vehicle, and sometime during that incident, he engaged the semi-truck. He fired 4 rounds into the truck.
Like a flatbed.
And this is a photo from the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office of Crawford when he was honored as a sergeant as Supervisor of the Year in 2021. Crawford was taken to the hospital for a shoulder injury. The truck driver's cooperating with police. No one knows why the shooting happened.
It just massively messes up traffic.
I turned to crime and safety analyst Tom Hackney for insight. When can the public expect him to say what happened?
You know, Janice, we may not know at any time soon about what happened.
Any person can plead the Fifth Amendment and not talk. In this instance, case law for Garrity versus New Jersey comes into play. Public servants are entitled to the same constitutional rights as other citizens.
From a law enforcement standpoint, as an investigator, I can't cause somebody to tell me what happened in an incident, including a police officer, even in the discharge of a weapon, even in the death of a suspect.
But viewers want to know what happened.
Yes,
One
we do.
saying,
What
why is a
happened?
trained professional getting out of his vehicle, engaging in criminal activity because that's what road rage is?
Yeah, that's what
Another
I'm
saying,
thinking.
off duty, fires 4 shots into another vehicle on the most crowded stretch of a major interstate and no charges made? Seriously? After the state attorney's investigation is complete, then a JSO administrative investigation would occur.
An employer, the sheriff's office, can go to their employee and say, now you must tell me. I can compel you to tell me what happened.
If an officer wants to continue working, he or she must explain what happened or could face getting fired. But under the employee's rights under the Garrity case, if they are compelled to talk in a workplace investigation, what they say cannot be used against them to charge them criminally. Janice Harris, Channel 4, the local station.
And JSO is asking anyone who witnessed the incident to call the sheriff's office immediately, 904-630-0500.
904-630-0500. Any of you trucking down through Florida? What was this, Monday and this happened? 4 days ago when I'm recording this video here. If you've seen anything, 904-630-0500. Let them know what you saw out there. There's something fishy about this story. Why isn't the lieutenant not making a statement? So that's that mid update, I guess you would call it. But we got another one. Before I recorded this video, I only had these 2 clips ready to go, and I thought, well, let me go back and check, see if maybe there's another update or anything on this story. And I found this video clip here. Not much update, but it is a little bit of an update, but it's basically covers the same thing. But we're going to play it anyway and see what they're talking about.
After an off-duty JSO officer fired shots into a semi-truck on I-95 after having contact with its driver. This happened Monday evening near Atlantic Boulevard during rush hour. The incident snarling traffic for hours. The case is still under investigation, but now we're learning new information in the incident tonight. Questions remain this evening about why an off-duty lieutenant with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office fired 4 rounds into the engine bay of a semi-truck along Interstate 95 on Monday.
We want to know
the
why.
truck was being driven by a 70-year-old man, and according to JSO, Lieutenant Mark Crawford was off-duty and in plain clothes. This is a picture of Crawford with former Sheriff Mike Williams back in 2021, when Crawford was honored for being Supervisor of the Year. Police say Crawford came into contact with the semi-truck driver around 4 p.m. And according to investigators, the truck driver was legally in possession of a firearm. We asked Jacksonville Sheriff T.K. Waters about any injuries the lieutenant might have sustained in the incident.
All that's part of the investigation, Tarek, and we're still looking into the details of it and what happened. And we're still waiting to hear from the officer who has the opportunity to whether he just has to decide whether he wants to make a statement or not.
Can you explain to our viewers why the lieutenant in this case has the option, perhaps, to make a statement to the police department or not?
So it's a little frustrating and hard to understand for most folks who haven't spent the time looking into these kind of things. And you know, the protection that we all as Americans have against self-incrimination from, you know, the Fifth Amendment.
News for Jax crime and safety analyst Tom Hackney, who worked for the sheriff's office for more than 30 years, says under the employee's rights, the protected police officer can plead the Fifth Amendment and doesn't have to immediately give a statement about what happened. But under protections known as Garrity rights that he has as a public employee, if the officer is compelled to make a statement during a workplace investigation, the statement can't be used against him for a criminal case. According to police records, Monday's incident is Crawford's 4th officer-involved shooting.
He's aware of the path that this investigation takes, and you know, knowledge is power. He's aware of how these things go.
Yeah,
and
he knows it.
has at least 3 other times dealt with either his own attorney or the union rep attorney.
Now, Tom Hackney says the officer is entitled to due process, which may take several weeks or months. He also cautioned the public about assuming the officer did something wrong because he has not made a statement yet.
Yeah, we can assume all we want to. Don't tell us what we can and can't assume, but yeah, that's something definitely fishy going on there, that's for sure. If you did nothing wrong, you feel you were in the right, why don't you talk about it? Why you not saying anything? I know you got a right, I guess, but no statement from the truck driver either. Come on now. Let's think about the sheriff's department down here. When they have a story like this going on, an investigation, they usually wait till after they get everything together before they start releasing information, body cam footage or dash cam footage or whatever. But the lieutenant wasn't even wearing a body cam. I guess they're not required to. So I don't know why, but he was off duty. That's probably one reason why. But I think is the rank, they're not required to wear them even when they're on duty. But we do have the dash cam, apparently from the truckers' camera. So I don't know when we'll be able to see that. But what happened out there on 95 the other day in rush hour traffic that would cause a off-duty officer to get out and 4 rounds into the engine? I don't know. There's a lot of this story that's not being released yet, so we'll keep an eye on this. And if you any updates, any other part of the stories released, I'll bring it to you right here on PaleriderTV. But once again, if you've seen anything out there, let me know first. Then you can always call 904-630-0500 and get your side of the story, your witness, and let's find out what really happened. All right, so trucker gets shot at by off-duty officer. I appreciate everybody watching. Everybody have a good day and stay safe.